problem.
Shots fired, now for two Baxters, I'll say. One white man. Hey, get down on the ground like something.
Chaos in the Highlands. Early
Soon as I
Sunday
think they up on me in a hurry, I'ma change the rap. Active, I ain't just rapping, fuck around and you with no problem. You know weed is sad. Only thing I've been able to picture, you not breathing proper.
Gunfire early this morning along a busy Baxter Avenue left 2 men dead and 1 in the hospital. And still, tonight, no suspect in custody. This is Wave News at 11. I'm Warjalis in for Noel tonight. Within the past year, the Highlands neighborhood, one of Louisville's popular neighborhoods for nightlife, has faced increasing scrutiny over violence at bars and nightclubs. And this after a
EST for free ass G about the freeway. We the reason for it bad and that zip on his stomach and a couple is their homies. Mr. Keep that Glock round down pop.
When we reported it. Trinity Randolph was the youngest victim in a double homicide that happened on Collard Avenue. Family members say she was in the house with her father, Brandon Waddles, when they were both shot and killed.
I ain't letting I put that on my terror. Niggas down and shit they test. My mama told me for his pocket. Get all upset. Trying to shoot and drive. I crashed the whip. I thought it was my time. You ain't
The extra PD will provide extra security measures at a rap concert in downtown Louisville this weekend. Louisville rapper EST Gee will perform at his Summer Jam event. It's at the KFC Yum Center tomorrow night. He has more than a
fuck going to that stove. I still be thinking about little fast with you.
In the alley, looks like he got shot in his right arm.
Police say that when officers arrived, they found 1 man dead. The second man was shot and transported to U of L Hospital, where he died. The third man went to Norton Women and Children's Hospital, and he's expected to survive. This
They know and I know, man, if it's up, they gon' get seen.
Blind to get in the beef. When I was growing up, it was about the drug that was about who got the money. Now it's about who killed the most people. So the shooter. The shooter is more praised than the boss, than the big dog.
The rap artist who and manager who posted the bond, they didn't give a damn about 3-year-olds who got long they're selling their music.
I'm a rap nigga that really rap niggas. Difference is he's a rap nigga that never trap with us. Just to sum it all up, dude's an action figure. Give me a stove and a pot, I make my action.
To take back Louisville Streets Gang, or EST.
Make no mistake.
Alleged to be a part of the Everybody Shines Together Gang, or EST.
Make no mistake. These subjects are violent offenders.
Ones she says are terrorizing the community.
Take off 1 or 2 individuals
At the
at a time
scene.
they're committing violence.
I just hope we can all just elevate higher and just stop being so angry.
Don't say your pole and fuck going to that stove. I still be thinking about little fast, wish you ain't leave that part. TJ sit down, took 25, I know it break your heart. Wish I could go back to the days when we still rolled the tarp. Instead I'm hunting with this bleach, trying to leave something ripped apart. And shit so fucked up nowadays, niggas don't know they place. Think they gon' take what I didn't earn, quick way to lose your face. Me, I think about you all the time, ain't no way I forget.
problem.
So, YouTube family, we're having a situation that's going on in Louisville, Kentucky. Now, I lived in Kentucky before, in Prestonburg, Kentucky, Floyd County, Kentucky. Louisville gets real brazy and things go left real quick. If you don't know what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen, EST Gee artist Lil Mike they call him, lost his life last night in Louisville, Kentucky. Weeks ago, his manager Big Beach was already caught up in the situation. So EST Gee got a lot of things he's going through and going on right now, and things are not looking brazy or gravy for him right now. So what we're gonna do is show you guys these receipts. So his manager Lil Mike was killed after ongoing feuds between the West End versus Newburgh, and it's just a lot with the East and West right now, and things are going wild because the Louisville community is taxing out EST Gee's homies. They're not taking it anymore nor waiting for police.
From Sunday's murder scene. Now the club's manager says that everybody is welcomed here, but many are saying that's the problem.
Shots fired, now for two Baxters, I'll say. One white man. Hey, get down on the ground.
Chaos in the Highlands. Early Sunday morning, the area filled with hundreds of people.
Multiple shots heard. We got people running.
Police were dispatched to the 900 block of Baxter Avenue between Highland Avenue and Broadway around 1:45 a.m.
A gunshot victim in the alley. Looks like he got shot in his right arm.
Police say that when officers arrived, they found one man dead. The second man was shot and transported to U of L Hospital, where he died. The third man went to Norton Women and Children's Hospital, and he's expected to survive. This uptick of violence in the area is something community leaders believe, and now community advocate Demetrius McDowell agrees with.
Something going on. It's a great opportunity for retaliation.
While some makes them a target.
The issues that I feel like that they are going around and saying that at our establishment is because we do.
We are working both locally and
not you know.
Now, what's going on is strings of violence. Now, if you guys don't know, Lil Mike was killed in the worst way that you can get killed. Less than 2 weeks after their associates, the manager of EST Gee, Big Beach. Now, Big Beach was very notable around the East gang, that is, and he did a lot, whether through music in the streets, but he was well respected. Unfortunately, he would meet his demise as well, as far as other strings and members of the East gang have also been getting murked in these streets left and right. Now, they also have been contributing to the homicides of Louisville and doing a lot of things in Grand Gander. Now, this concert over here by EST Gee, it was given extra security measures, stemmed from the 2021 investigation that busted about 10 EST street gang members in a federal drug operation. We'll play that a little bit later for you guys. Now, what happened was they provided a lot of security to protect the concert that EST Gee was going to do in Louisville.
LMPD will provide extra security measures at a rap concert in downtown Louisville this weekend. Louisville rapper EST Gee will perform at his Summer Jam event. It's at the KFC Yum Center tomorrow night. He has more than 1 million followers on social media. The EST in his name stands for Everybody Shine Together. In 2021, the FBI and LMPD made a major drug trafficking bust involving members of a Louisville street gang called Everybody Shine Together, also known as EST. 10 members of that gang were federally indicted, and the FBI accused them of terrorizing our communities. Are aware of this event and the potential public safety risk involved. LMPD will be providing extra security measures to assist in maintaining the safest possible environment. LMPD will provide extra security measures.
Those extra security measures didn't do anything to save Big Beach. Big Beach, the manager of EST Gee, also met his demise prior to Lil Mike, and these things were kind of wild. Now, you guys can read the report and article yourself. You can pause the video. I'm going to continue because this is going to be a long video provided with receipts and information. Now, they said Beach was pronounced dead on the scene after EMS arrived. Almost the same situation with Lil Mike. Now, Lil Mike lost his arm, according to certain people who told me in the DMs when he got hit up. They hit him up so bad and did him dirty. His arms was dangling basically off, disattached. Now, we're going to continue with the article. You can read where they said a violence took place early Sunday morning in Gee's hometown of Louisville, Kentucky. Officers responded to a shooting in the 900 blocks of Baxter Avenue around 1:45 a.m. When they arrived on the scene, they found multiple men suffering from gunshot wounds. One was pronounced dead on the scene while the other died at a local hospital. A third man arrived at a hospital shortly after a gunshot wound and is expected to survive. Now, you guys can read the rest as I continue. Now, this back and forth beef has been going on mutually between the West End and Newburgh. It started with a conflict that once former foes and actually was once groups. We're gonna get into that. Now let's go more on the news of Little Mike's passing.
Gunfire early this morning along a busy Baxter Avenue left 2 men dead and 1 in the hospital. And still tonight, no suspect in custody. This is Wave News at 11. I'm Warjalis in for Noel tonight. Within the past year, the Highlands neighborhood, one of Louisville's popular neighborhoods for nightlife, has faced increasing scrutiny over violence at bars and nightclubs. And this after another shooting has shaken those who call the Highlands home. Alina.
Or this strip of Baxter Avenue is usually busy with weekend traffic. Now, we have seen a steady flow of vehicle traffic, but not so much on the foot traffic. Some in the area telling us it's likely because of what happened right here not even 24 hours ago. Out of a barrel.
There's one directly in front of O'Shea's, and there's one in the alley behind O'Shea's.
Leaving
to do start martial law, you know, at the beginning of the Highlands on Friday night, you know, to check every car that comes in and out of here so they don't have a gun.
Culture of violence here.
In recent months, that detail may be different. That LMPD has upped patrols in the entertainment strip.
Now they've been up in patrol because this violence been going on in Louisville between these factions and groups over the last 6-7 years, and it hasn't got slowed down yet. It's actually increased. Now the crime scene where Lil Mike was killed was right here, where tourists, pedestrians, and people of the community patronize on a daily basis. So this definitely ran rapid with the mayor and the governor. Now Lil Mike just dropped a diss on his Instagram towards his opposing force, such as, you know, H Block, Duke, and his West End associates. They basically got called out on this new diss.
Work at 5, got put up, try and grab his eye. They know we move like the mob. Ain't no way for you to spot a job. Just got a new drop, he don't come out, then we gon' run inside. And every time these niggas slip, then we gon' do them dirty. I'm in the purging, it ain't nothing little about this 30. I heard your verses speaking on some shit you can't even purchase. Speaking of rats like you ain't one Bugsky, was just the first one. Ain't in the arguing, off the hip up, then I get the sparking. You know my click zipping shit up from history to talk. Work at 5, got put up, try and grab.
So he's letting people know thoroughly as far as what he's going through and what he actually did. Now Little Mike has a lot that's been going on. You guys can read this little slide of the situation, but when they arrived at the scene, a couple of reporters, including officers, said it reminded you of Iraq again. And the officer said he's been on 4 tours, and this was one of the worst scenes as far as seeing the body of Little Mike being hit up the way he did on Baxter Avenue. Now the community wouldn't stand for this, and they're not going for it. See, EST Gee is not the only one with a name. Now what's going on with EST Gee and his associates is going through a long string of beef and back and forth. This is what the community had to say about the elongated beef and feud that has terrorized the community and the city. So you see a lot of people venturing off here. They have the comments. You got Keela Torrance say, I'll never go to Baxter's again. They shot up the club. I was begging for my life on the ground. You got another person, Morgan, say, stay safe to say I won't be going to Baxter's again. So basically a lot of people don't believe the community that they are protecting them, because the way Lil Mike met his demise was kind of brazy and wild. What I'm going to show you now is Little Mike on DJU TV speaking with his street brother or blood brother, Ski Mike.
It's hard as a motherfucker. Everybody. I'm saying everybody got their job and everybody handle their business.
Yeah. Now, when I was doing my little research on you, Ski Mike, I learned that you was shot 15 times.
Yeah. You
survived 15 shots, or you got shot at 15 times?
Survived 15 shots.
Really? Wow, so you harder than 50 Cent. Nah, for real.
It's hard as a motherfucker. Everybody. I'm saying everybody.
Now, I don't know if you paid attention, but you can see Lil Mike's left leg was terribly hit up prior to being killed, and he was go through measures of rehab to get his leg working right again. It split it open. He got hit with an AR in previous outings. Now the EST Gee group would go on several interviews and different members and explain we all have been shot, every single one of us, and that got wild. Now they're going to speak on one of those situations, but I'll show that later. This is them explaining if they're brothers or not.
And it's definitely a blessing to have y'all. But we want to get to know y'all since y'all here. You know what I'm saying? We got Ski Mike, we got Lil Mike. Both y'all named Mike.
Yeah.
Y'all brothers?
Yeah, that's my little brother.
Okay. So tell us though, where y'all from?
I'm from Louisville, Kentucky.
Louisville, Kentucky? That's where everybody from?
I'm from the East End, Louisville, Kentucky.
I'm from the West End, Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay. And it's definitely a blessing.
So as you can see, certain East members and West members are still cordial and cool with each other, except for known beef. Now we're going to break that a little bit more, because this thing goes down also with members involving in it that I need to start. There's a member that formerly was a teammate of basically G. EST Gee's teammate YOG Peso and H Block Duke are both from the West End. Now there's ties to this story right here that's gonna take a little bit more turns. Get your popcorns ready. This is when the video actually starts, ladies and gentlemen. How did the beef with EST Gee and his gang get involved with the West End? Well, this guy you see here who's friends with G, their members got into a situation. They became a one group and they were making a lot of waves in the city. Then a shooting happened between the group July 8th, 2019 in the studio. All we know that happened is a very prominent member of the community named Coach Big O, Brian Owsley. He was killed, and he's part of basically the West End. And what was being said was that members from EST were during that shooting unfortunately eliminated Big O. Now this would cause a wave of feuds and diss from different members of the Louisville community, including one that's a rising rapper from Louisville named H Block Duke, and he would diss the entire EST gang.
On my mixtape, apple fritter with a vacuum sealer on the E-way. My accent's sicker, so I'm taxing niggas for E-way. We get on EST for free, ass G bout the freeway. We the reason for it, bad and that zipper on his stomach, and a couple is their homies. Mr. Keep that Glock round down, pop, I got that lead on me. Heard that last year, I don't care, I got no bread on me. On my mixtape.
Now, if you don't know, EST Gee was also shot 5 times. He got hit in several parts of his body, including the chest, and one fragment hit his eye and messed it up real bad. So HB Duke was responding to that incident in his EST diss song. He was very vocal, he was very brazen, he did not hide anything, no adjectives and grammarization needed. Now what's going on is EST Gee is from Newburgh, Louisville, and the rest of the guys are from the West End, and there's been too much happening. Now they broke up and split, as you can clearly see, and a lot of things happened. After the Sada Baby video shoot, EST got shot, which what you seen from the diss of Duke speaking on. Now Eric Mosley posted $135,000 bond with EST Gee and an Atlantic record executive that would make waves among the community. Now what's going on is Eric Mosley was the first manager of EST Gee. Now before we get involved with the posting and bond and why that went viral, because that's going to be important to this documentary. Now them posting a bond to one of their associates whose name Little Kuda, aka Kevon Lawless. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, his last name is Lawless, no pun intended, but they would bond this member out, which would cause a string of things and indictment when they did that. Now Eric Mosley is known to flex, and boy, he flexes a lot, just like EST Gee. They're getting money in the streets in the music business, and they will flex on their opponent at any means necessary. Now Mosley and Gee were known in the neighborhood and very grouped up, and as you can see here, his rise to success were not bringing industry people with him only. He actually brought up guys he grew up with. Many of them are known to be athletic athletes because Eric Mosley was also a basketball player, just like YOG, who was also former friends and teammates with EST Gee. He also was an athlete. In that Louisville area, there's a lot of athletes who tend to come from the streets and stick with the streets instead of the football field or the basketball field. Now, what's going on with this was the fact that there was a gang takedown for Eric Mosley and the entire EST Gee. Eric Mosley would later get arrested and be found with over 1 kilo of coke and multiple firearms.
Safe Streets Task Force is cracking down on those believed to be connected to the surge of violence.
10 people have been indicted as part of a drug trafficking bust. WLKY's Lauren Adams explains how the task force is working to make Louisville streets safer. To more than 160. And so far this year, there have been more than 650 shootings.
Could have done more with their lives.
It's why the FBI is fighting to take back Louisville Streets Gang, or EST.
Make no mistake.
Alleged to be a part of the Everybody Shines Together Gang, or EST.
Make no mistake. These subjects are violent offenders.
Ones she says are terrorizing the community.
Take off 1 or 2.
Now, they've already taken them down. This is the paperwork for Eric Mosley. As you can see right here, pause this, clip it, and read it. I'm gonna show you another one. Here's more paperwork for the entire EST gang members who were indicted and taken down. And there was over 10 members who got involved in this RICO conspiracy, criminal organizations, murders, setup. That's right, backdoor queens and backdoor kings, all involved in this friction between different factions of the Louisville area between the west and east side. There's a lot that's been going on with this, and if you guys don't know, Eric Mosley was sentenced to 5 years in prison, in federal that is. Now 9 other EST affiliates are also expected to be sentenced soon, and I think they already was sentenced. Now here's where the story takes a shift. I brought to you guys, there was a situation with a bond where Eric Mosley and EST Gee, that's right, the rapper himself, EST Gee, was involved in this bond exchange where they used their LLC to bond out one of their notoriously known dangerous member in their group that's called Kevon Lawless. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevon Lawless have seen a string of things on his time being sentenced out here. Now, if you guys don't know who Kevon Lawless is here, right here, a member of the clique. I don't know if he rapped or anything like that, but he definitely has a long rap sheet in the streets of Louisville. Now, his situation was he killed a guy named Brandon Waddles, who's a opposition of him. But the problem is, when he killed Brandon Waddles, he ended up tragically killing Brandon Waddles with his 3-year-old daughter in the vehicle. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to fall back and play the news footage for you because it was a heartbreaking one that would traumatize the entire city of Louisville, which brings you forth why guys like Big Beach, his manager, is getting killed, and his other associate is also getting killed, such as Little Mike. Now let's get on with that news breakdown.
Killing a Louisville father and his 3-year-old daughter, sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. WHS 11's Alexis Jones covered the sentencing today, telling us more about the emotional scene in the courthouse.
Judge McKay Chavan said today's sentencing wasn't easy. Tried to reach out to Kevon Lawless one last time.
I get that you can't react to this or trying not to react to this, but I hope that that's all a front. I hope that you feel this the way that other people do. Because if you don't, then you are a monster. You are evil.
Trinity Randolph. A jury recommended 2 life sentences without parole.
You are evil.
Lawless was found guilty for the murder of Brandon Waddles and his 3-year-old daughter, Trinity Randolph.
The monster Kevon Lawless, who was involved in killing my son and my granddaughter, needs to be held accountable for what he's done. I won't get my little Trinity, I bring him back, but Kevon Lawless should be punished to death.
Now,
so I feel that.
Kevon Wallace was using all the defense he could get. His attorneys claimed that Mr. Waddles was basically flashing a weapon on IG, which then let his life in danger. So when he seen him, he had no choice to defend himself, and this was the weak defense that was being used in court. And unfortunately, of course, we know it did not work. Now, a lot of people was bringing this up to show that Waddles is not an innocent person, but what straddled the people was the fact that Waddles' daughter, Trinity Randolph, unfortunately got killed, which was all that people cared about, because that's important. When you start killing kids involved in these situations, then it changes everything, ladies and gentlemen. And this is what we have here. This is the funeral of the beautiful Trinity Randolph, or Randolph. I think it's Randolph. I hope I didn't mess up the name. And you can clearly see how the community got together. This was the big one, and I don't mean Elizabeth we're coming home. I mean the big one where the community can no longer be disattached from what's going on, the vengeful acts of violence that has rampaged the city and brought so much distress amongst the people. Now, I'm going to show you a clip of why the auntie is so mad at EST Gee, because he would fall back and actually bond out the killer, Kevon Lawless. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, he bonded him out with disregards of the family and what they had going on. Now the auntie is going to become distraught over this.
Gets busted by the feds. The news of Eric Mosley's arrest brought Trina Waddles to tears.
It's a hard thing to even get over.
Waddles is the great aunt of 3-year-old Trinity Randolph and the aunt of the child's father, Brendan Waddles. Our troubleshooter investigation found Mosley and EST Gee, or George Stone, paid $135,000 to bail out Trinity's accused killer.
The rap artist and manager who posted the bond, they didn't give a damn about 3-year-old who got killed. No, they're selling their music.
Here are the checks for Kevon Lawless's $300,000 bond. The names on these checks are Everybody Shine Together Entertainment, LLC. I took a step further, and according to the Kentucky Secretary of State, both EST Gee and Mosley's names are behind the company. The FBI said they busted Mosley at a Louisville hotel with a kilo of cocaine, $100,000 cash, and guns.
They was just bragging that they was going to, that the killer was going to be out this summer and he got out.
She's talking about hurtful things like this. EST's song released this July naming Lawless, or Lil Kada as he goes by. Quote, they want $1 million for Lil Kada. No, I'm coming to get you, baby. EST Gee was propelled into stardom, already working with big hitters like Jay-Z. Gets busted by the feds.
So Little Kada, aka Kevon Lawless, and he is lawless, has been rampaging their community. But guess what? It wouldn't last too long. The money that EST Gee paid to get rid of the situation with his homeboy, his alleged stepper, well, things would flip, because Little Cater himself would see a backdoor happen in court when his own friend becomes a state cooperator, aka snitch, aka informant. Little Cater was sentenced for the situation, but prior to that, I want you guys to look at something.
Victim, we gon' flip them, then gon' switch the track. Gang said I can't do no more missions, they won't pick me up. I'ma go and get us out the trenches, we forever stuck. And we stand on business, smoke a witness if he seen too much. Been up on the score, why the fuck y'all think they teaming up? I see why, they call Barry scary cause he left LeBron. Now they got me playing Tom and Jerry trying to catch LeBron. But Mike almost got whacked and ain't get back but won't beef with us. Met you on dot block, you was on my cock without a yeek or nothing. Victim, we gon' flip him.
So that was H Block referencing the first time Lil Mike got hit. And now we know Lil Mike died, so people are just crossing up things together. But here's the snitch, ladies and gentlemen. This guy right here, Evan Ross, who would fold and tell on his EST compadres. And he would fold in the worst way, because he agreed that he's seen Kevon killed Trinity and Brandon in the area of Louisville, but then he would flip his statements in court and get arrested for changing his mind, almost like a YSL Woody situation. But he didn't have immunity.
Accomplice in a double murder trial took the stand today and then left the courtroom in handcuffs.
Kevon Lawless is on trial for killing 3-year-old Trinity Randolph and her father. WLKY's Alexis Matthews explains why a witness for the prosecution is now locked up.
A second accomplice in the deaths of Trinity Randolph and her father admitted to being Kevon Lawless's getaway driver, but unknowingly, claiming he knew nothing about a shooting on August 14th, 2020. On Monday, Evan Ross, a childhood friend of Kevon Lawless, or Kada as he called him, told the jury that on August 14th, Lawless asked him for a ride to
which way I turn, where I go.
Got it. And then do you find where you're looking for?
Yeah.
Ross says once at the house, Lawless went to get the girl, but came back without her, so they left. But 15 seconds later, they return, and the car takes off. Ross claims he did not hear any gunfire, only the music blaring in his car.
Like you're in the front seat of that car?
Yeah, I'm in
and the
front
door's
seat.
open?
Hmm?
Right, and you're telling me that you didn't hear any shots?
No, I didn't hear nothing.
How loud is your music?
After accomplice in a double murder trial.
So what happened in court was, remember, you take an oath when you go to trial, and he is going to violate and lie under oath.
No, I didn't hear nothing.
How loud is your music?
After making that statement, Judge McKay Chavan had Ross arrested for perjury, saying he violated his probation, which includes truthful testimony.
The jury actually laughed when he said he didn't hear the gunshots. It's an absurd thing to say. It's clearly not true, and he's under oath, so.
Before his arrest, detectives testified that Ross's black Chrysler was found at his home a few days later in the same neighborhood as the murders. When Ross was asked about flyers circulating with a picture of his car, prosecutors called his answer insensitive.
No, I didn't hear nothing.
How loud is your music?
After it crossed my mind, after I synced that initial, and I thought about it, yeah.
And what did you think about it?
It's a sticky situation.
Yeah. Well, because I got to tell you, that reaction seems a little heartless when you're talking about two people dead, but in particular a 3-year-old.
In Louisville, Alexis Matthews.
So he clearly didn't care about the situation, and it was heartless. Look, ladies and gentlemen, in the streets, when you don't care for each other, there is no honor code. Now, Evan Ross, who pleaded guilty for felicitating the murders, he then tried to change his mind, but as you can see, the judge McKay Chavan got angered and locked him up. But guess what? The twists and turns continues, because there was a female who helped Kevon Lawless, aka Little Cater, to do this murder. She set up Brandon. When he was walking, Brandon went unbeknownst to this female's house because she invited Brandon to come over, and the whole time she was planning to rob Brandon with Kevon Lawless, but we really know it was about a murder. So she tried to clean it up, and it was too late. So she also was a state cooperator. Here is her testimony in court.
Was found dead at the scene, and Randolph was taken to Norton Children's, where she later died. In court today, prosecutors said while Lawless fired the shot, he didn't act alone. WHS 11's Alexis Jones is covering the trial.
So you didn't want him to know that Kevon Lawless was asking for his address and for you to come over to his house?
No.
And why wouldn't you have told him that?
He was about to get robbed.
After hours of prosecutors asking the 19-year-old witness why she helped set up Brandon Waddles, she said,
"What was in it for you?"
Money.
The woman also admitted to telling Waddles she would meet him at his house on August 14th, but she never arrived. Instead, she said she was on the phone with Kevon Lawless when he shot Waddles and his 3-year-old daughter, Trinity Randolph.
Then what happens after you hear the gunshots?
Phone clicked.
5 days later, Detective Brian Peters says he visited the woman's home and took her in for questioning. During their interview, Peters told the witness to call Lawless on the phone and to act natural. That's when he noticed Lawless was saved under a different name.
She was told to save it under a different number, or a different name, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Detective Peters captured the moment on his body camera. In the video, you hear the woman telling Lawless,
I just miss you.
at which he responded,
I'm not really, I ain't gonna lie, I'm not coming back to the shop for right now.
Peters believes Lawless was referring to the south end of Louisville, where Waddles lived.
Sure.
Right, and it's hot in August, correct?
Was found dead at the scene. And
So we're looking at this situation, and a lot been transpiring with no break from the community. The community felt that there is unrest, and they would speak out loud
when we reported it. Trinity Randolph was the youngest victim in a double homicide that happened on Collard Avenue. Family members say she was in the house with her father, Brandon Waddles, when they were both shot and killed.
To play you here a little bit of what we heard at the scene.
I just hope we can all just elevate higher and just stop being so angry.
Yeah, this one really hurt. You know, there were vigils and walks, lots of balloons and calls for the community to come together. The lyrics, the cash, and the FBI. The manager behind Louisville rapper EST Gee gets busted by the feds. The news of Eric Mosley's arrest brought Trina Waddles to tears.
It's a hard thing to even get over.
When we reported it. Trinity Randolph was the youngest victim in a...
Now, to see this going on and understanding the rifts between them, Louisville Police began an investigation against the entire EST group once again. Now, we think another RICO is going to happen, but let's continue. On October 2nd, 2020, EST Gee best friend Austin Floyd, ladies and gentlemen, that's right, Austin Floyd would get killed on the 36th Street in a house, and no one know what he was doing there, what was going about. But word is the West End members were the ones who took him out of his glory. Now, he was a prominent member of EST. He was one of the founders, one of the main names and figures, and you can see him here in the picture of Eric Mosley. And things just, ladies and gentlemen, took a turn. These are a group of gentlemen from the hood who are trying to change their life. As you can see here, EST Gee was here during his second annual turkey drive, which he gives a lot away to his community, just like New Jack City and Nino Brown. It looks good, but we know what meets the eyes of these back and forths and giving these food drives and giveaways. It only begets the other things that they're hiding, almost like your mom and dad telling you don't brush your trash under the carpet because it piles up and it blows in your face. Now, what happened is the back and forths kept going on between rival members. Now, what would happen is October 23, 2020, West End Reginald Johnson, yes, ladies and gentlemen, Reginald Johnson would get killed on the East End Highland Road area. Sources were trying to contribute this and attribute this to the EST gang, and a lot of sources already was tying a lot of members, official members that is. Now, EST Gee associate Warren Freeman was arrested for killing Reginald Johnson. Now, what happened with that is Warren, with the money of EST, got good counsels, and that case was dismissed. No one knows why, but sources said that witnesses were either eliminated or didn't want to come to court and give cooperating evidence anymore. It's substantiated because of fears and the failures of the police to solve these murders. Now, Kevon Lawless, Little Crater, gets bailed out by EST Gee and his manager, and everything hits the fan. H Block Duke would continue to diss the entire EST gang again.
I'm a rap nigga that really rap niggas. Difference is he's a rap nigga that never trap with us. Just to sum it all up, dude's an action figure. Give me a stove and a pot, I make my action quicker. I'm a rap nigga that really rap niggas. Difference is he's a rap nigga that never trap with us. Just to sum it all up, dude's an action figure. Give me a stove and a pot, I make my action quicker. I'm a rap nigga.
So we get to see these entrapments and back and forths, but H block, Duke did speak about the violence and contributed to the drug dealers not giving props anymore and the shooters now getting more props.
That's why we doing this and showing them the difference of the city.
Why are so many people wanting to get into beef?
When I was growing up, it was about the drug dealers, about who got the money. Now it's about who killed the most people.
So the shooter
is more praised than the boss, than the big dog.
Why?
That's why we doing this and showing them the difference of the city.
Why are so many people wanting to get
I
into
respect
beef?
Duke for saying this. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your guy, DJ Bless One. This was a good episode. Let me know what you guys love from it. Love your family, love your kids, and definitely, with all being said, stay blessed. Deuces.
Soon as I think they up on me in a hurry, I'ma change the rap. Active, I ain't just rapping, fuck around and you gon' see yourself. All the talking tough cool until you screaming, bleeding, needing help. Traffic, me and my chopper pull on side, you gon' be needing breath. Paramedics and miracles, if not, then you gon' see the shelf. Soon as I think they